Today I want to show you 3 super fun pumpkin recipes that use pumpkin puree, and they're all super delicious and enjoyable to make. In my mixture, I already have a stick of butter, so that's half of a cup of butter, and then I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar, and I'm beating that together. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. Next, I'm adding half of a cup of pumpkin. This pumpkin I actually made in one of my other videos. I roasted a pumpkin pie pumpkin and then made it into a puree. This is actually my first time using it, so we'll see how this turns out. 1 egg, a bit of vanilla, and this is 2 1/4 cup of flour. I'm gonna let this dough chill in the refrigerator for probably about 30 minutes. I'm gonna roll the dough out, and then this is the filling that I'm gonna spread on the dough. 1 egg yolk, a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, half of a cup of pumpkin, and 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar. This seems like such a liquidy filling to me. I'm kind of worried that it's gonna spill out while the cookies are baking, but we'll see what happens. I've actually never made these cookies before, but it looked like an interesting recipe and it looked like fun to make, so we'll see. Hopefully it turns out. Okay, I'm gonna get this dough rolled out. Kind of worried about it sticking because it's kind of a sticky dough, but that might just be because of the water content in the pumpkin. I always forget how easy it is to roll out cookie dough because I'm so used to rolling out pie crust. It's so nice. I really don't know how this filling is gonna go. I'm kind of worried about this. It's just so liquidy, but we'll see. I'm gonna try to roll it up. Now I'm gonna cut this down the middle and then roll it up by the short side. Okay, this one's heading off to the freezer. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on my icing that I'm gonna dip the cookies in. I've got 2 ounces of cream cheese and 1 tablespoon of butter, and they're both really soft. I'm gonna add some powdered sugar, and I'm gonna add some milk so that I can make it more of a dipping consistency. I'm gonna put these in the oven for about 10 minutes at 375. Alrighty, next up is some pumpkin bread. I'm starting off with 1 1/2 cups of sugar. Into that I'm adding half a cup of oil, 2 eggs. If you're looking to make a really simple pumpkin dessert or bread, any pumpkin baking, this is definitely one of the easiest things you're gonna find to bake with pumpkin. And it turns out really delicious and moist. Pumpkin bread is really simple. You just combine ingredients and bake it. A little over 1 1/2 cups of flour, 3/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon, a little bit of cloves, you can also use nutmeg, some salt, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I'm adding 1/3 of a cup of water and 7 1/2 ounces of pumpkin puree. This is my homemade pumpkin puree made from my knucklehead pumpkin I had out on my porch. If you want to check that video out, it's on my channel. Hopefully this turns out well with the knucklehead pumpkin, but we'll see since it's not the typical pumpkin that you would use for baking. I'm going to bake this at 350 for about 50 minutes. Starting off in my bowl, I have 3 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of packed brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, and a little bit of salt. Next, I'm just going to cut in a stick and a half of butter. You could also use shortening or lard instead of butter, or a mixture, as long as it comes out to 3/4 cup of fat. I'm going to put in all the rest of my ingredients. So that is half a cup of cheddar cheese. I think white cheddar cheese would make this even better, but I didn't have any. A tablespoon of finely chopped sage, 3/4 of a cup of pumpkin, and 1/4 of a cup of milk. I find it's much easier to do these kinds of pastries with my hands. This ended up making 12 biscuits, so I'm gonna just put them in the fridge until we're ready to eat tonight, and then I'll bake them at 450 for about 15 minutes. I hope you get a chance to make some pumpkin recipes this season. Click the subscribe button if you enjoyed this video, and take care.